Greetings guys and gals, this is Jabberwock bringing you the best in esports, and this is going to be my final video for 2010. I just did my last commentary, and as you guys can see, I'm not where I usually am. Usually I'm downstairs in the basement when I come home, but recently I've been actually in my grandma's room. My grandma lives with me, and so I just, spent the time in here because she's up in Texas right now for the holidays. And I was able to, take use of her queen-size bed, which was very nice, but way better than the couch. Don't make that dirty. And she also has, so she lives in the master bedroom, so she has the big bathroom and everything, which is nice. A good jacuzzi in there as well. But hopefully I'm able to do this video in one take. This is going to be a goodbye to 2010, and I'm just going to kind of recap some of the big stuff that happened in terms of esports and gaming, some other stuff too, and then recap my own kind of YouTube progression type thing as well. But first off, I want to say that I started commentary in August. My first commentary, I actually looked at it. If you guys have watched my other video, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But I actually watched it, and it was terrible, man. I know I say a lot still, and I know I'm not the best commentator, but I feel like I've improved quite a bit. And I was, saying destructible rocks, debris. So yeah, you guys should go watch that and laugh at me, lol. But yeah, that was in August, so that was like 5 months ago around. And I feel like I've made a pretty big progression as of the quality of my video, because the quality of that video, not necessarily that one, but the Brood War ones I was putting out, it was freaking awful. And so that's why it wasn't the greatest. Oh, by the way, this I got in Hawaii, but I'm really representing the school right here, College of Business. That's me. All right. But anyways, yeah. So the year of 2010, wow, it was pretty freaking great. We saw Jaedong versus Flash pretty much every single time, at least in the later part of the year, in the OSL, the MSL, WCG Korea, WCG, just Jaedong Flash, Jaedong Flash, Jaedong Flash, and it was a great year for them, I'd have to say. Not so good of a year for Brood War. Brood War is like a little bit down, but we're still going strong, so that's always good. The Pro League, we saw KT barely pull it, well, not barely pulled out, they pulled it out pretty kind of easily, in my opinion, versus SKT1. We saw the Bisu slump and then the Bisu rise, and now I think that, I think that he's pretty much at, he's back pretty much. Not quite at his prime like he was in 2008-2009 season, but I definitely think he's very, very close. Obviously I'm a little biased because he is my favorite player. But that's that. We saw Effort retire from SC and from professional gaming altogether. And most importantly, I think we saw the birth of SC2. We saw how into it people are now. Brood War, the commentaries and stuff, it was there. That community was there. But, when I started watching it, and even earlier, it wasn't that big of a community, and SC2 just kind of took everyone by storm. Everyone, who used to play the game, because it has been 12 years since the first one came out, and everyone, kind of joined in and really got excited about this game. And now we see, people like Husky and HD making, absolute livings off of just making YouTube videos, which is freaking amazing. I wish I could do that. Unfortunately, I can't. So I'm going to have to, stick with my umpiring job. I umpire baseball for kind of a living, since I still live with my parents, as I am going to college, which pays pretty well, but, it's not as fun as commentating, I can tell you that. It's not, getting yelled at all the time isn't that fun. Maktira. But, just kidding. But, well, I completely forgot what I was saying. I've got my little handy-dandy notes here. Actually, if you can see this, you can see how it is on the, pad of paper that you get from opening your StarCraft 2, and I put all my notes now for the games, stuff like that down. But what I was saying is, you see people like HD and Husky get, one of the top rated views on all of YouTube, not just, the gaming section or the entertainment section or the sci-fi section, but the whole entire community of YouTube. Theirs are one of the most views, theirs are one of the most favorited, And that is just freaking awesome, man. I mean, that just shows how much the esports community and StarCraft in particular is growing. You see the Call of Duty community out there, you have the Counter-Strike community, you have the StarCraft community, you have just so many of these communities, the Dota community and the LoL community. You just have so many of them coming together for, this new generation of kids, and I think that it's really awesome that we can have so much community revolved around. And you know what, YouTube and the internet is gonna give TV, like the TV I have up there, a run for its money. It honestly is, and that makes me really happy because you know what, we put out what we watch. If you don't want to watch something, then you can just don't watch it, or if you want to put out something, you can put it out as long as it's in certain boundaries. You can just put out what you want, and I think that type of freedom is just phenomenal, and it's awesome, and it makes me so proud to be one of the people putting out stuff, making commentaries. And what else? We had the Koreans. The Koreans, at first it seemed like StarCraft 2 was more of a foreigner thing. You see the Europeans doing it, you see the Americans doing it, you see all of them doing it, and then the Koreans come in and boom, take every GSL. But yeah, so the Koreans switch over. You see big names like Boxer and Nada come in. You also see people like Zergbong somehow winning the GSL 2, who was he was not that good with reach in the 2v2s when Pro League used to have 2v2s, and now he's good. He's pretty good at StarCraft 2, obviously. You see Fruit Dealer winning the first one, and that was huge. And then, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched this, OGS MC, the first Protoss winning, and I'm just so proud of him because, one, I play Protoss, two, my favorite Pro League gamer is Protoss. And, people thought Protoss, they can't do it, but OGS MC definitely proved them wrong. We also saw the Greytech / Blizzard versus K-Spot battle when with Greytech and Blizzard suing K-Spot. Don't really know how that's going. All of them were like, okay, this is the final deal. Okay, we'll give you one more deal. Alright, we'll give you one more deal. And you know what? K-Spot's like, we're just gonna start Pro League anyways. We don't care. And so they did their own thing, and I don't really know. I haven't been keeping up with it. Don't know where it is at this point in time. That legal system takes pretty much forever to get anything done. In StarCraft 2, we saw the Void Ray be like one of the Void Ray rush was like unstoppable. No one could stop it, and then we saw patches to nerf it, and now the Void Ray is coming back into play. People are using it again, especially like OGS MC. We saw Reapers be huge, and then they got nerfed, and then now we don't see them anymore. But at first, they were huge. Everyone used Reapers, even against every matchup too. Everyone would just get out Reaper for scouting purposes and for harassment. And Reapers against Zerg were so effective. They were so effective. But now we don't see him anymore because I think that, honestly, I think Terran, in particular, the Reaper play has just been a little bit over-nerfed. We saw Zergling rushes, a lot of Zergling rushes early on, and a lot of Baneling busts, and now we can see that Zergling and Baneling can be more than just a mid-game thing. They can, last for even into the late game. I think I just saw a game with Damaga versus some Terran player. Damaga, no, maybe it was Phoenix. I don't know. Day 9 just casted his Day 9 daily on it, and you know what? I'm trying to think who that was. Anyways, you see the Zergling and Baneling into Ultralisks. That Zergling and Baneling can be used into the mid game, and it doesn't have to all be Roaches and Hydras and all that stuff. We see the Phoenix being used more and more. Everyone was like, Phoenix? Why do we need the Phoenix for anything? But now we see the Phoenix being used more and more. That gravity beam that lifts them up, and you're able to attack. And we see Hallucination coming into play. No one used to use Hallucination. Now people against Zerg are using Hallucination, get out Phoenixes and scout around, and it's just awesome. It's just really, really awesome. We saw the Roach, the Roach buff. That's what I was going to call it at Uber or something. No, the Roach buff with the range going up about like 2 or 3, which was so huge because now, Protoss can't really wall off like they used to. You can go for Roach bust, and they can outrange the cannons, which is huge. And Roaches are so much more common now. Roaches are just that much more powerful just because of that range upgrade. And so now we also saw Thors and Corruptors kind of lose that energy. And what Protoss players used to do, they used to just feedback all of the Thors, which was such a good strategy because no one would use that little cannon thing, and now they can't do that. So a little bit of a nerf to Protoss. Not too happy about that, but I think it was necessary. I think it was a good nerf. What else did we see? Oh yeah, we saw the Terran, the big Terran nerf in the latest patch where they have to build a supply depot before they build a barracks, and they also can't get their Reapers, their Reaper upgrade until they get their factory, and just a whole bunch of mess like that. And so Terran are hurting a little bit, but they're still doing good, and so I think that it was a good little balancing thing. I just think they need to tweak it just a little bit, just to make it so Reapers kind of come back into play and people use Reapers a little bit more, because no one really uses Reapers anymore, and it's kind of unfortunate. They're about as useful as, what's another unit people don't ever use? They used to not use Phoenixes, but now they use Phoenixes. I guess you don't see carriers. Oh, motherships and carriers you don't really see. But you know, that's because, I don't know why, because I think that carriers are not that effective in StarCraft 2, honestly, and motherships, they can just get sniped too easily, in my opinion. But you know, maybe we'll see more carrier and mothership play later on. We also, oh yeah, and then not many people get that warp prism speed, so maybe we'll see some of that in the near future. Rarely do people get observer speed anyways. People rarely got observer speed in Brood War, really. Some of them did, but usually you didn't really see it too much. We also, oh, and like other stuff, I guess I was gonna say in other news, but that would have been just way too cheesy. You know, we saw the advanced airplane searches where you have the full body scanner, and you also have the like people like groping you everywhere. You know, we saw the Giants win the World Series. We saw the Lakers go back-to-back in NBA championships. We saw the Colorado Rapids. I just am saying this because I am from Colorado, and so I'm kind of proud of them, even though no one really cared when they won. They won the, whatever the cup is called for the, I was going to say FIFA, but it's not FIFA. It's the MLS, Major League Soccer. They won the Major League Soccer championship. We saw the Saints win the Super Bowl over the Colts, and you know, they really, honestly, they deserved it. After Katrina, and I know people get tired of hearing about Katrina, but after the Katrina, you know, it was really devastating. I watched Spike Lee's film on it. Even though I'm not a big fan of Spike Lee, I watched this film, and you know what? You really feel for the people because they lost everything, and so they really deserved that win. You know, we saw the 3D TVs where the goggles in 3D movies. Everyone's going, you know, every movie's in 3D now. And honestly, I don't like wearing the goggles. If they had 3D without wearing the goggles, I would definitely go. But yeah, I don't really think it's worth the $13 or $14 that you have to pay. It's like going to 2 movies, except you only get one, and it's in 3D, and then half the movie isn't in 3D, so I don't know why people pay for that, but people do. 3D movies are actually at a decline, just FYI. We saw the Kinect, and the Kinect is awesome. At first I thought it was going to be so stupid, but it actually is really sweet, and I really like it. I kind of wish my mom would have got it. I actually convinced her. I was like, Mom, why do you need the Kinect? You don't need the Kinect, rah, 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 rah. And so, because she wanted to buy it, you know, just for fun, and I was like, no, it's stupid, but really it is actually pretty cool. We saw WoW Cataclysm be like the best-selling game ever. In the first like 24 hours, it sold so many copies, just so many copies. And I actually haven't played it. I don't really like paying for games monthly. I think that's kind of stupid. I realize why they do it, because they have to, you know, maintain servers and stuff, and it's really intensive in that aspect, but I heard it's pretty good, so you guys maybe you should check it out. Another Blizzard game. You know, and what else did I put on this thing? Oh, and we saw Black Ops. You know, everyone was so excited for Black Ops. And you know, people, the thing about Black Ops is funny, is all the Modern Warfare commentators, the Modern Warfare 2 commentators, the Call of Duty guys, like, you know what, Black Ops is going to be so good because they've changed this, 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 and this, and they've made it exactly perfect, and it's pretty much perfect for us. And when that happened, they had nothing to complain about, so they called it boring, which I think is retarded, because one, if you play any game besides StarCraft, surprisingly, you know, 24/7, as much as they play it, because they have to get, you know, YouTube quality videos, aka they need to get like 71 kills and like 2 deaths. But if you play any game that much, it's gonna be boring. I mean, I think Black Ops is by far the best Call of Duty. 4 was good, but I don't know. Black Ops is pretty freaking good. The noob 2 problem's pretty much gone. All the kill streaks are pretty good. I like how the kill streaks don't stack because people were just going nuke after nuke, and it was just so annoying. And it caused people to camp. It really did. It caused people not to play for the objective at all. And so, all the Call of Duty guys are complaining, this game's boring, well, because I don't know why. Because it's exactly the game that you wanted, and suddenly it's boring. I don't get it. We had, I forgot. We had the betting scandal with SC Brood War, the Pro League in Korea, with people we don't mention anymore, people who are not in the scene anymore, people who are going to jail behind bars. But yeah, so that was really a little bit unfortunate, but it really shows you how serious they are about esports in Korea, specifically StarCraft. They have Tekken tournaments and other type of stuff like that, but really that's what I want the United States. I want the United States to move in their direction, not abandon sports, because I love sports. I love football, basketball, baseball. I love them all, but what I want is for esports to be socially acceptable, to people be excited about it, to people, for it to be, for there to be an ESPN, maybe like ESPN E or something, that shows, like an on-game net or an NBC game or a GOM TV, where it shows those matchups. It shows all that stuff, and there's crowds that watch people, and they get excited because they know about it. Because I know if a lot of people started to realize how great that StarCraft was, and how much strategy is involved, and how much time and effort it takes, and how that's why the Pro League is so compelling to a bunch of these people, is because they know the history. They know how hard Jaedong and Flash have been working. They know how hard Bisu's been working. They know how he's in the slump and he's crawling, he's trying to get out of it, and when he loses, when he gets kicked out of the OSL, or when Jaedong and Flash get kicked out of the OSL, how devastating that is. They see the defeat in their face. They see how disappointed they are, and it makes it so much more emotional, and you need that emotional aspect. And that's why I've been criticizing the GSL, because they don't, when big things happen in the Pro League, they pan over to the gamer's face, which I think is such a good idea. And it shows you how they're reacting, how they're feeling, and you see, for the GSL, you see their face at the beginning, you see the game, you see their face at the end. It's not like this progressive thing and then they show face, and that's where I think they need to go with the GSL. There's just tiny little tweaks that I think if they did that, it would be better. Like they shouldn't start the qualifiers for the GSL before the round of 8's done. Like, that's when they do stuff like that, that's weird. Like, you should wait a little while. You shouldn't just bust out. Honestly, I think the max tournaments is like 2 or 3 maybe per year. 3, except in probably like 6 months they had 3. Not even in 6 months though. It was more like in like 4 months they had 3, and so they just were like and so I think they need to slow it down, make it more dramatic, make it more big, because there's gonna be, by the time next year rolls around, it's gonna be like GSL 50, and so I think they really need to slow it down. But I think they need to make a Pro League. They need to make teams in Pro League. That's why people like Brood War so much in Korea, is because they have teams, and they rely on each other and they build off each other. Yeah, the individual leagues are fun, and they're the most prestigious, but the Pro League is there for support, and it really brings the Brood War scene to a whole new level. That's it for about outside stuff. I just want to talk about me for a little bit. I don't want to sound selfish. Talk about me. But I went to college this year, and I found out a lot about myself, because in high school I used to be the type of person who would always try to be the cool guy. I would go to parties, I would go out all the time, I'd have to be doing something all the time with friends, with girls. If I wasn't with girls, then it wasn't a fun night or whatever. And I was lifting a lot. I'm still lifting a lot. I think it's very important to stay in shape, but I was doing all this stuff to try to impress the ladies. And in college, and try to be popular. In college, you don't have to be popular, because you find a group of friends. There isn't really such I mean, there is, but there really isn't that big of an emphasis on popularity and how many people like you, how many friends you have. As long as you have your friends, you're good to go. You have pretty much everything you need, and college really teaches you to be your own person. And honestly, for like the past 3 years, I used to be really big into Rainbow Six 3 Black Ops. No, Rainbow Six 3 Black Arrow. There we go, Black Arrow, and Warcraft 3 and Starcraft and stuff. And I used to come home and play. And then I got in this phase. I was like, video games are for losers, nerds. I don't want to be a nerd. I don't want to do that. And so I stopped playing, and I always kind of had this temptation, this to go play. And so what college taught me, which is really important, is that you need to do what you want to do, because life is way too short. Life was way too short to not do what you want to do. And so I started, the transition from partying all the time to being a quote-unquote nerd, and I'm totally okay with that. I'm totally okay with not going out. Tonight is New Year's at 8 o'clock. New Year's Eve, actually, and unfortunately this video is probably not going to go up until New Year's because of my upload situation, to where I have to upload really late at night, so it's probably not going to go up until tomorrow, which is the 1st, obviously. But and I'm making a video. I'm making a YouTube video at 8 o'clock at night on New Year's Eve. Some people will be like, wow, but honestly, I don't care. And probably after this, I'm probably not going to go hang out with a bunch of people. I'm probably either going to hang out with like a few friends, or I'm gonna play StarCraft, and I'm totally okay with that, and that's totally okay with me, and I'm just being who I want to be, and I'm just rolling with it, I'm just going and doing my own thing. And so after that, I joined the CSU StarCraft team, so now I'm a part of the CSL, and I was so pumped about that. I started my podcast. We haven't had an episode lately, but we're getting there. We're gonna put up another one once this new year rolls around. And college and just this year in general has allowed me to do a lot of growing up. And realizing that, being popular or being someone you're not is not worth living. It's not worth living like that. It's not worth living for things that you don't care about or don't want. You want to do stuff because you want to do it, And I used to be a big jerk, a huge jerk, and I'm still kind of a jerk, I'm not gonna lie to some people, but where I want to go with this is I want for me to you want to help people out. Why not help people out? Because why wouldn't you want everyone to be happy? Why wouldn't you want everyone to be successful? Why wouldn't you contribute to your community and stuff like that? That's why I try to answer pretty much every comment that comes on my videos, because I know that you guys care about watching my videos, and I care about you guys, and I want I want to get better, and you guys want to help me get better, and I want to help you guys out. And that's why if you ever want to talk StarCraft, you ever want to talk about anything really, we can literally talk about anything. Just send me a PM and we can Skype, talk about whatever. Totally down for that. And just be a better person overall. Just help yourself, help other people, and that will make you so much more happy than just doing stuff for you. That sounds kind of counterproductive to what I just said, but what I'm saying is be yourself, be your own person, but try to help other people be successful. That's what I was trying to say. And also try to help yourself be successful. That's better. That doesn't sound quite as contradicting. What else? And so for the next year, I think that's what that says, right? Yeah, for the next year, what I want to see is I want to see esports grow. For 2011, I want to see esports become a lot bigger than it was, or than it is now. And it's getting there. The GSL is getting bigger. YouTube in particular is getting a lot bigger, and the StarCraft stuff's getting bigger. More people are commentating. Better commentators are coming out. More tournaments are coming out. More prize money is out there, and so I'm really excited for this next year in terms of esports and StarCraft in particular, because I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be one of the biggest years. And going along the lines of doing what you want to do and being yourself, the way I perceive living is live like the Mayans are right, that 2012 December 12th or something like that, or 20th, 20. I don't know what it is because I don't really worry about it that much. But whenever it is in December in 2012, pretend the world's gonna end like that. And what I'm saying is not this. I'm not saying, the world's gonna end, so I'm gonna go rob a bank, or the world's gonna end, so I'm not gonna do my homework, or the world's gonna end, so I'm gonna skip work today. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, you still need a plan for the future, but you gotta do what you want to do. Life is too short to, be like, what, today I'm just gonna, be a jerk today because, tomorrow I can be a better person. Or today, I'm not gonna work out today. I'm gonna start tomorrow. I'm gonna start, you can't keep putting those things off. You can't keep putting those things off. You gotta, do stuff now. The time is always now, and you can't just keep putting stuff off and saying, oh well, I'll apologize to them another time, or I'll apply for that job another time, I'll do this another time, I'll change my ways another time. And it might seem like I'm kind of like scolding or lecturing, but I want to ingrain this in your guys' brains, is that you need to be your own person, and you need to live your life the way you want to 100% of the time. There's not a time where you should ever feel like, what, I'm gonna do this, and then later on I'm going to be myself, or I'm gonna act like this and then I'm gonna be myself, or I'm gonna do this even though probably not the best thing to do, but I'm gonna do it because I have so much time. Really, life is so precious and it can be taken away from you like that. And so what you want is you want to act like today is your last day, and you want to make every day, you want to do what you want every day, and be happy. A lot of life is about being happy, and people always say that, it's impossible to be happy in life. Life's not happy, life's not fair, blah blah blah. And that kind of attitude I think is stupid, because you can be happy almost 100% of the time. There's some things you can't control. But for the things you can control, make your life happy. Make it great. You only get one, so why not go for it? Shoot for the stars and do what you do. And so we are going to see this year probably the decline of Brood War into StarCraft 2, which is unfortunate. But for all you Brood War guys, I don't want to see you guys just die off. What I want is for you guys to come along with me when I make that transition to Brood War, and I'm not going to make it without the Pro League. Obviously, if the Pro League's still going on, I'm going to be casting games, so don't worry about that. But when the Pro League ends, or the OSL ends, the MSL ends, WCG switches to StarCraft 2 only, I want you guys to be okay with that and transition with me, because I think that this community can really do a lot for esports, and we can really make a difference, which is definitely the way we want to go. Wouldn't you be awesome if we had a channel like OnGameNet on cable these days? I think that would be absolutely awesome, and people could just sit down and watch people play and feel feel the tension, feel the anguish and the triumph and everything that these guys feel, because this is big. This is going to be a big year. I can definitely tell. And so lastly, I just want to say, follow your dreams, and I hope you guys have a very happy new year. Be safe. Make sure safety is your first concern, but have fun at the same time. Fun is a huge thing. I mean, what's life without fun, right? And everything, if you think about it, I know this sounds really weird, but if you think about it, everything relates to StarCraft. And the reason why StarCraft is so amazing is because in a world where we're so we don't like to take responsibility for our actions. We don't like to take the initiative for stuff. In StarCraft, it's just you and the other person and a million possibilities. So just take that for what it is and keep playing, keep doing what you guys do, and make sure that whatever you do, it's the thing that you want to do. Whatever you're doing, make sure it's what you want to do. Pretty much that's it for me, guys. I really don't have anything else to say. Hopefully this wasn't too scattered for you. Shout out to Day 9, because he really influenced my thoughts about StarCraft and the Brood War scene and just esports in general, and how it compares to quote unquote real life. But he's definitely probably the best caster I've ever listened to. I listen to all of his stuff, so go check him out if you haven't. I'm sure all of you guys know who Day9 is, but if you don't, go check out his YouTube channel, Day9 TV, and see what he's all about, because he's really inspired me to do all the stuff I'm doing. And you know, anyways, I'll see you guys on the other side in 2011, and I hope you guys have a happy new year. GG, Lates, keep playing SC.